Hello friends, and welcome back to My Hobby Home. My name is Kathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are doing our updates. What our updates is, if you're new, you may not understand what updates are. This is going to be everything I touched in the last week since our last update. This gives me a little bit of accountability to get things done. So I'm just going to jump in and tell you, we didn't do a lot last week. I felt like I did a lot last week, and I didn't. And right here, I have my little calendar that shows everything I did. And pretty much the main thing we worked on last week was our Missouri Star Quilt Company's Jenny's Countdown to Christmas, the day when Snow Globe, I think it was called Winter Wonder. This was their day one project. We did get the top complete, so now all I need to do is quilt it. And I've had several people ask me if I do it in the hoop, that they would love to see that. So that is my plan. I do plan on bringing you guys along if I'm able to figure out. I have never done quilting the hoop on a quilt top. I have done it on small things like pot holders where those were done in the hoop, but I've never done a quilt top. That's a small enough quilt top that I feel like I may be able to do it in the hoop and move it around how I need to move it around, but I don't know. I don't know how long that'll take, what it will entail, but if I feel like I can't do it, I will probably just do not even a stitch in the ditch, but like 1/4 of an inch on all the sashings, on the inside of each sashing. So I will probably do that. And it looks like we worked on that 3 days. So we did most of the cutting one day, but we finished the top. That's the main thing. We finished the top. The next thing we did, y'all, was this cute little mug rug. This was our day 4 project in the Missouri Stars Jenny Countdown to Christmas box. Isn't that so cute? Just adorable, cute little mug rug. Now, day 6, I did not do day 6. That was word of the day, pillow. I did not do a pillow. I already have several pillows that I've already made, and I just didn't do it because number one, they did not send fabric. Not that I don't have enough fabric here to do that, but I just didn't really want another pillow. So I thought, instead of me actually going in and using stuff, making that I would share that in a D-stash. So my next D-stash, that will be included in it. Let's see, what else did we do? We actually had shopping hauls, and now that I say shopping haul, guys, I'm going to bring it out. Did I lay it? I told y'all in the last video I would show you what I got. And guys, let me see. This is what I got. I put my receipt in there so I didn't lose it. Miss Ava had told me she was getting some new books. I don't know if this one was new, but it is by It's So Emma, Simply Half Yards. Guys, there are some beautiful quilts in this. Let me see if I can find. Now, this in here to me looks beautiful. It's called the Comic Quilt. I thought that was just beautiful. Now, Miss Sheila and I both came to the same picture, and we're like, I love this, you know. And I told her, I said, I think it may be the blue, because I really love quilts that are blue in blue. And it's hard for me to picture a quilt in blue to see how it's done. This one's called Roses. That's the one that's on the front. There's a gardenia quilt. Now, I really like this one too. It's called Legacy Quilt. For some reason, I like blocks like that. I really love blocks like that. And it reminds me of the Starly that I did, which also, okay, this one here is called Origami Quilt. That's the one we both loved. We love that. That reminds me, the quilt show was held Saturday. I did not make it. I overslept, and then I had a baby shower. This one is called Woodland. I had a baby shower, and that baby shower ended up lasting several hours, and which is fine because I did a lot of catching up with my high school friend and her daughters. Both of her daughters were there. And, well, one of them is the mama having the baby. So this one is called Medley. So we just did a lot of catching up, and I did not make the quilt show, and I felt so bad about not making it, but I've seen pictures already online, guys, of quilts that was in that show. There are some beautiful quilts in that show. This one is called Reflection. And this, like I said, this is an It's So Emma book. Oh, and you know, I always love patriotic. That one's called Starry Night. But I wanted to show y'all this, and I'm going to kind of tell you now what my plan is, because I've been leading up to this, letting y'all know that the new year, I kind of have a new thought about the new year. This is called Celebration Quilt. It's just a big star. But what my plan is for the new year, I am planning on pulling all of my books out. Yeah, here's some where they show, here's 2 pages where they show a lot of the quilts in there at one time. But I want to pull all of my books out and pick at least one pattern. Now, do I have more than 12 books? Probably. Because I know with the Jolly Bar books, I have 5 of them. But my plan is books like this, and I've gotten 2 others, to pull these out and pick at least 1 quilt in it to work next year. So 1 a month. So I'd have 12 quilts. I want to do a quilt. Now, how am I going to work it? In my spare time, if I have a down day, I may bring y'all along with me to do it. I may work it once or twice a week. I am still doing, well, before I get to that, let's just finish what we're looking at here. Now, I did bring you guys along for a floss tube on Saturday. Now, what we are looking at, so I'm going to kind of give you my immediate upcoming things that I want to do. I'm looking at my calendar here. On Friday, Tammy and I come together for a live on her channel at the Siberian Wind. We will start month 4 of the Yuletide Sampler 2 Quilt Along. And we will do the first half on Friday. We come together 7 p.m. Central Time on her channel at the Siberian Wind. It's myself, Tammy, and Alicia with Quilty Bird Piecing. We all come together and collab, have a good time just sewing and chit-chatting. And to tell you how good of a time we have, I normally don't get through the half of the steps, because I enjoy chit-chatting so much with everybody that I'm a little slow at it. I've kind of had to get to where, like if we're going to have half square triangles or something, maybe I go ahead and I sew my half square triangles or something like that. But we just have such a good time. It would really be great if you guys would join us over there, share the love with Tammy and Alicia. We just, like I said, we just have a blast. I will still be doing projects out of my new boxes that I get. I'm thinking I know for soft squares, I will be doing a project on the 14th, and the 13th, I will be doing one for Jenny's Countdown to Christmas. So I'm looking, between now and then, I don't really have anything specific other than I want to work on this Merry Christmas tree because I want to get this done before my next Bella Rose box comes in. And it is due to come in any day now. I think it already showed shipped. So I need to get this done so I can get it to the long armor to be finished. I think this is a really cute quilt. I'm going to have to mull over this one. It may go in a D-stash. I have so many quilts, guys, Christmassy quilts, that I don't want to like overload myself. I want to at least have one on each bed, which I only have 2 beds set up in my house right now. My bed and my spare room bed. We don't need more than that. This used to be a bedroom, but I'm using it as my office now. And I want to have a couple hanging on my quilt rack in my living room. So if people want to sit on the couch, they can have one. I automatically have one on my recliner that I use to sit under. But then we have the couch and the love seat. And I want to have at least 2 for each one, that if somebody wants to, you know, snuggle on the end of the couch, that they can have a quilt. But I am going to have to be going through stuff this week. I've got to get my Christmas tree up, my grandbaby, and, well, my son and his family. Of course, it's my grandbaby. You know, that's the most important thing now, is that grandbaby. When they're coming the 29th, I believe, and they will be staying all the way to New Year's, which is fabulous for me. I love it. So I have to get my guest room. I have boxes of sewing stuff in there right now that I have to get pulled out. I have to go through. I have to organize. I have to, you know, all the things that you have to do. And I have some scrap stuff here that I think what I'm going to do. I had last year, I believe I brought you guys along and I made a little quilt for my grandson that was like a Mickey on one side, and I showed y'all how I used a thrifted flannel sheet and made him a little blanket out of it. I'm going to be taking the rest of that flannel sheet and making cat beds for my cats. And what I'm going to do is just going to be a zippered end. I'm going to put scrap fabrics in it. Maybe the small scrap batting that I have that I wouldn't sell in a scrap bin. But I'm going to make beds for my cats that are in the house to sleep on, because I had laid that out on a box here in my sewing room, and my Oscar just sleeps on it every time he comes in. That's where he wants to lay because it's warm. And I think he's a little bit cold nature or he gets cold because he lays on the air vents. He is a need to lay on the air vent, stay warm kind of cat. But for the next week, the plan is to try to be tying up this. It looks better on this side because you can actually see the tree. Tying up this project, and like I said, I think I have some more boxes coming in this next week that we will be unboxing together. I do hope to be pulling projects out. I know after about the 14th, we just start hitting project after project after project every single day. So y'all, if you're not subscribed yet, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed yet, go on and click that button and that notification bell so you don't miss any of these new projects we have coming up. Now, as I said, most of these are going to be coming out of these boxes that I get, and I'll be unboxing. It looks like I actually think I have 4. I have one box that's going to ship December the 10th. I'm showing I have one that shipped on the 1st, but I haven't gotten it yet. I show one on the 2nd, one on the 5th, and then one on the 10th. So I haven't gotten any of these boxes yet, but my fingers are crossed that I get them this next week, because we could do an unboxing every day, guys. I'm so excited. It's going to be like Christmas every day if I start getting my boxes. It will be Christmas every day, because these boxes are geared towards Christmas boxes. So it will be Christmas every day. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I may have to go get me a little elf suit so I could be like Santa's little elf, opening up all these boxes. This is going to be exciting. But I will bring you guys along for a few little projects here and there, so never fear, there will be a project in here. Now, for long-term goals, as I was saying, for 2026, I'm going to try to get all my books out, and I may even show y'all the books that I have. I may narrow it down to a pattern here, a pattern there. I do not mind repeating patterns, like doing one block, just different colors. I do not mind that. That is perfectly fine with me. But what I may do is put a thing, like a poll out there, which one y'all would like to see done first. And this could be a sew along. We could do this on Saturdays as a sew along. But what I'll do is I'll have y'all mark which one you would like to see, and maybe I couldn't do like a 1 through 12. I could do a 1 through 3. So like the one that got the most votes would be the first month. The second month would be the one that got the next most votes. And then the one that got the least would be third. So that would be like January, February, March. So I have a lot of books that we could be working with. So I may do that probably the last week of the month, possibly. Now, of course, that's going to be the week that my grandbaby's going to be here. So I may be sporadic in here and out, but I don't expect my daughter-in-law and my son and the grandbaby to be here all the time, because my daughter-in-law does have family here. But that is one of the things I plan on doing for 2026. Now, with that being said, it is all going to be smashing my stash. Now, this book right here is a half-yard book. Now, I don't have half yards in my stash. I do have some yards in my stash, but I don't know that I have half yards in my stash. So that would be something that I'd have to really, I have some yards that I could probably cut down, but I don't know that I have enough of one line to do it. But that may not even be necessary. I may not put this one in there until later in the year. But what I do want to do is kind of start knocking my fabric stash down. I know. I've been doing it, guys. I did a lot of it, but this year, at the end of the year, I do buy a lot of fabric at the end of the year, because I hit Black Friday sales. I hit a lot of things where I can get great deals on fabrics, fat quarter bundles. I love to get fat quarter bundles. So, I may be doing a lot of fat quarter quilts. Who knows? But that is a plan for 2026, is to go very minimal fabric shopping, kind of like I did this year. Most of the fabric I bought this year was very specific for a project that I could box up. And another thing I want to do behind this here, y'all have seen, like I have boxes behind me. I want to get those worked down. I have a shelf over here, kind of behind y'all, that is a huge utility shelf that I have crafting things stored on. I want to get that cleaned out and get my projects on that shelf. I want to open up behind me to where I can see out my window. And I can hang quilts up here for y'all to see them easier too. The boxes just seem, I keep hitting them and busting the doors on them with the back of my chair. So it's a very tight space in here. So I don't have a lot of space. And it would be nice, like if I have certain projects that I am working on, I could put them back here on the shelf I have. I have one little shelf, and that way they'll still stay low. Only the ones that I am working would be back here. And that would open up more room for me over here with my storage stuff. But like I said, though, this upcoming week or this week, I don't have a lot of sewing scheduled. But that's not saying I won't sew. I will sew. I will sew every day. But starting next week, guys, there are so many projects that we're going to be bam, bam, bamming it. We're going to be bamming it. Because I mean, I'm sitting here looking at a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So, y'all don't miss it. I will put a picture of the Cotton Cuts quilt right here. So, y'all can see we did finish that one. We finished Cotton Cuts. We did the cat mug rug, and we did our snow globe. I think Winter Wonder is what it was called. But those are the three things that I technically completed this week. The snow globe is not a total complete, but the quilt top is finished. And that's my goal, is how much can I get finished? Cotton Cuts is finished. It's at the long armors. I'll just have to bind it when it comes back. So, friends, thank you for joining me. I was hoping this was just going to be quick, but it looks like I got a little long-winded, but that's okay. Feel free to give me a thumbs up if you like this. If you are not yet subscribed, please feel free to become part of our family. And we love all the crafting things. I love the questions because that pushes me. If I don't know the answer, it pushes me to learn something. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.